Heyo, it's your old pal Alec. It's your old pal Alec. There it is. Hey, I just woke up from a nappy nap. Let's try this again. Heyo, it's your old pal Alec. I am decided to go live. I used to do this Let's Chat thing a while ago, every once in a while, where I would have some stuff that I wanted to talk about or do or bring up or whatever. But it's the ability to have people jump in and chat if they would like to join in. And you don't have to stay the whole time, obviously, but if you want to pop in and say hi or anything, just shoot me a DM on Instagram or an email, and I'll shoot you the link and you can hop in. The main focus of what I want to talk about today is I'm thinking about submitting some books to CGC financially irresponsibly. But I've got some books here that I want to show you and get your opinions on whether or not I should send them in or which ones I should send in, rather, because I definitely cannot send them all. This is a couple books. Second, I got some already. That's great. 1 minute. Bear with me. It's the one kind of like hitch of this format is that I now have to just like vamp while I send an email, which is not very great content. There, done. But it's my channel, so my content is always iffy. So I'm going to give it a minute to see if anyone else wants to hop in. Say hello to some people. Reggie collects comic books. Swolges in the house. What's up, Reggie? Good to see you. YouTube is in fact 90. It always is, and it always has been. What's up, buddy? Collectible paper. Did I win? Not yet, but maybe. JP's budget collecting. Hello, friend. So that's everyone at the moment. I know it's kind of like a weird time to be going live, especially for like people on the West Coast back in the dab of the day. Bear Allen, look who's straight up having a live. Los, what's up, buddy? That Bear Allen's joke is in reference to a very, very vulgar thing I said on the Comic Core show that we do on Wednesdays last week. So go check that out. It's called the greatest comic book show ever. Unruly Simeon says, schlab them all. Well, what if it's like a bunch of X-Force ones and I have legitimately lost my mind? It's not, but what I'm saying is just don't get ahead of yourselves. So I guess I'll just get started and show you some books. That's what we like to see, right? Like to see comics and unboxings. I don't have anything to unbox. I foolishly unboxed a box of comics that I got. I boxed a box to got. I'm an idiot. So I wasted that content. So yeah, I'm good at this YouTube thing. Hey, there we go. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
How you doing? Not too much. How you doing?
Oh, I was boxing up prizes to go out for my contest, so I was just sitting here. So you said,
well, I apologize to winners for delaying their goodies.
Nope, I'm done. They are ready to go. So
well, what great timing.
So I just finished when I seen this.
Well, welcome. Thanks for hopping in. I don't know if you heard my spiel there at the beginning about what I'm kind of talking about.
Part of it, yeah. Other than when I was trying to actually get in, then I kind of paused you. So I didn't have you in the background.
That's all right. Basically, what I want to talk about, but we can discuss whatever in the meantime or in between. I got some books that I'm thinking about sending to CGC. And want to just get some opinions from you in the chat to see which ones I should send. kind of like a voting game, I guess.
A voting game? Well, I could tell you my invaluable opinion.
I don't know why you say that. TJ the Slab Dragon Watson says, looking forward to watching on the rewind. Thanks for hopping in and probably at work.
Hey, TJ.
All right, so John's Comics with Kids. TJ and I need to do the exact same thing. I was about to send a message for scheduling it. Yeah, I just fly by the seat of my pants, John. Seize life.
There you go.
Or do things less good. So this is the first book I'm thinking about sending in.
Oh, love that book. I love that cover.
Yeah, it's a newsstand. Yeah, great Simonson cover. It's got, so I was thinking about doing this pre-recorded so I could like really zoom in on some of the flaws of the books, but I thought that was like be not the most fun thing to watch, just a bunch of close-ups of spines of books, which I guess is what this is anyway, but I get to talk like a dingus. So the spine's pretty clean. It has like a couple of pressable things, maybe one or two tiny color breaks. The only thing I'm concerned about on this book is, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it because the light right there, there's like a little stain. See that on the spine below the red?
Oh yeah, just below. Yeah, I see it.
I don't know if that can come out.
Maybe. Yeah, hard to tell from what you're showing there if it could come out or not.
But it's a pretty clean copy. I got it at a good price. So part of my kind of feelings about grading things, if I'm on the fence and if it's for value,
right,
is that it doesn't matter what I spent for a book. Because if I spent $100 for a book or $1 for a book, if the cost of grading is more than what it would increase the value of the book by, it's no point to me.
Right.
Because Collectible Paper says PC or flip. It's a great question, and I will definitely get into that. So let's say I bought this for $100, and I could sell it for $150 right now in the condition that it's in.
Right.
Right. I'm just throwing out numbers. And it cost me $30 to grade it. And then if I graded it and I could only sell it for $175, I'd only be making an extra $25 and spending an extra $30.
Right.
So, but it's the same thing if I spent $1 on this book, the profit is still the same.
Right. You're affecting the profit at the same amount.
Because I'm still losing $5 by grading it in effect. Like whatever I paid for it. So what I paid for the books is, I can tell you, but it's irrelevant as far as I'm concerned for what the profit based on if I should grade it or not is.
Well, and at this point, that's a spent cost to a certain degree. So, like, that cost is gone. You've made the decision to buy the book. Now the question is, if you're talking about flipping it and turning it into cash for something else,
right? Then
it's not irrelevant in the fact that you don't want to do that over and over again, but you've already made that decision, and now if you're thinking about it, it's really about what you can get out of it on the back end.
Right. I either made a good purchase or I didn't.
Right.
So it's even if I paid $200 for the book and I can only get $175 out of it, I'm still losing $5 by grading it if I could sell it for $150. So
yeah.
Is it printer's ink or a foreign stain? Dave Enrique asks. So that is a fine question, and I'm not sure. Like, it almost looks, I don't know. I'm tempted to try to take an eraser to it, but I've never done that before to a book. So I would definitely try it on another book first.
Yeah.
Barbarian Kung Fu, what's up? Says AO. So that's option number one.
Okay.
This would be a flip. I would sell this book.
Gotcha.
It's definitely not a 9.8, but 9.4 to 9.6, hopefully, would be my guess.
That's solid still, and that's it's a flip book and
so again,
9.6 still a good grade on that.
Again, I could sit here and look it up on eBay and compare the prices of a raw versus a 9.4 or a 9.6. And if that's something people are interested in the chat, I'll certainly be happy to do that. But it just might be kind of tedious to watch. So let me know in the chat if anyone's interested in finding out those sorts of numbers. Collectible paper says graded is easier to sell than raw most times. No discussion about condition. Might be the worth. Yeah, I don't disagree, and obviously, like, I subscribe to that as well when I'm buying books. Like, if I'm looking at a book and I'm not sure what the grade is, but there's a 9.4 graded, like, you obviously know what you're getting. But I'm talking about strictly looking at like eBay sold listings for raws versus graded. So yeah, it might sell easier or quicker in a graded, and if I'm trying to make my money fast, I could take that into account for sure. So I guess I think that makes sense. 36 Chambers Tattoo. What's up, comic fam? Pinky's out. Low says 9.4 might not be worth it if you're flipping it. Yeah. So let me do it for this one book.
Well, here I already got it. If you want to.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me share my screen.
Big Snake says, "Well, Heidi Ho gang," and Joey Bag of Sevens says, "As a buyer for raw books." Yeah, that's another thing. Like, people have their preferences. Some people just don't like graded comics for one reason or another, and that's perfectly reasonable. Let's see what we got. So 9.8s go for a ton.
Yeah. Raws appear to be going in that $40 range.
But those are fine copies.
Yeah. So
if you're looking at like something like a VF plus or a near mint minus,
for 60 high grade, 60, $70. A 9.4 is only going for 113.
So, but I mean, that's one example, but that's a perfect example. So if I could sell it for, see, I want one for 110 raw.
Yeah.
So let's say $75 is about the average I could sell it for raw. And if a 9.4 is selling for 115-ish, then that is, see, but if it comes back a 9.2,
you've lost all your grading costs.
Right. So that it is a newsstand. Right. So that's the gamble. I would have to be very confident that it would have to be a 9.4 or higher in this case to make it worth
9.4 of 135.
Because so but that's like very, very close.
Not a lot of wiggle room on that.
Right. Because if I get a 9.2, then I'm out $35 or whatever it is to cost to grade it and press it and whatever.
Yeah.
But if it comes back a 9.4, then I've made $30 extra.
Yeah. So that one's probably, I would say, if you're not confident that book's a 9.6 or 9.8, then I would be tempted to pass on that one.
Joey Bag of Sevens. Well, I'm tempted to just call sevens. I kind of like that.
The seven.
Seven says not worth the time of grading. Yeah, Big Snake says I would say 9.6 or higher to make it worth it. Like after a press, it could maybe possibly pull a 9.6, but I don't. I think that with that stain, like the corners are not nice, and a press would definitely help this book. But the other thing is, like, I'm not a professional grader and I don't have all the tools and stuff. And sometimes I just find stuff you can't see with your naked eye. But so that's a maybe, but probably not.
One thing to consider with that particular book, though, is, and it's just a thought process, is even if it comes back a 9.4, is depending on how quickly you need to turn it. Because if they make an announcement that he's going to be in Thor 4.
Yeah, Collectible Paper just said I would keep that raw until wait for the Guardians of the Galaxy 3
trailer. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. If he's going to be in the MCU, then that book's going to go up.
Right.
So then it makes it worth it. But
yeah, for sure.
But that doesn't mean you necessarily have to grade it right now, because that could be a while before you're going to get that. So,
right.
But
what's up, boy at 7? Stopping by. So yes, that's a great point. But on the other hand, I've seen cases where people wait till closer to a trailer comes out, or a trailer does come out, and then send a bunch of copies in, and then it takes so long that people don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So there's like sometimes a very small window.
Yeah, you need to have it. Yeah, the advantage of going on and doing it is that when that happens, when we see Beta Ray Bill in a trailer, is you can put it on eBay
that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are in no particular order, by the way. I just grabbed a stack of books. This is my next book that I am considering. This one is probably, not probably. This one is a PC book, so I'm going to grade it at some point. It's just a question of if it's going to be in this round.
Okay.
It does have a coupon in it. For those of you who know about Valiant, that makes a huge difference. It's basically like a Marvel value stamp.
Yeah.
As far as how it affects the value. This is one of those books that a 9.6 to a 9.8 is an absurd jump.
Of course.
This book is notorious for having a split spine, which this does not have.
Oh, that's good.
It's got one teeny tiny color break that I can see, which is, you might actually be able to see it because it's right. I can get it up here. It's right on the blue line in the car. No, you're not gonna be able to see that.
Here, make me tiny.
Yeah,
make
good call.
Like the dominant. There you go. In the car?
In that blue line in the car, right below the door handle.
So, I am not seeing it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, it speaks to how tiny the tick is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barbarian Kung Fu says eBay relist for free. If it's already on eBay when the trailer hits, you will be golden. Yeah, you just have to make sure that because sometimes you have things that are like auto relist.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure, like, if the trailer comes out and you had it listed lower, you want to make sure that you have a correct price.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, this is going to get graded at some point. It's just a question of if that's going to be now or later.
Gotcha.
But
that's for you. So it's just a matter of.
Yeah. Big Snake says you think it's 9.6, 9.8 material. Yes, I would say definitely a 9.6 with maybe on a really good lucky day a 9.8, because I don't really see much wrong with this book. It's really crisp. A press would help it, obviously, because it does have like a couple of little bends in the spine, but they don't break color. But everything else looks really flat, really nice. The corners are like razor sharp.
Yeah, those corners look good.
Like I said, the spine is not split at all, which is notorious. First Hellboy, once pressed, clean, slab shipped to me, that seemed like a lot of people got paid and soaked up a ton of future profit from it. Yeah. Barbarian says post it high and then relist it so that when it comes out, you already got it. Which level CGC member are you? I am whatever the middle tier is. I forget what that is.
The 150.
Yeah, the one where you basically get your money back when you
send stuff off.
But I've already used that this year because I re-upped at Baltimore and got 30 books graded, and that was
gotcha. So you used it up. You've already done that for this year.
Boy7 says, you looking to flip and make money this round? Ideally, most of what I want to send in, I probably am going to think about flipping, but there are books that I just really want graded. So I don't know if I'm just being impatient. Great Legend says, is CGC or CBS and why? So I've used both, and I think honestly both have their benefits. I am not strictly in the corner of one or the other, like some people who are like TJ who love CGC, and I understand why. David Enrique says, sorry, I'll get back to that. Harbinger 1, such a great book. I would wait for the reaction of the Bloodshot. Would you want Harbinger 1, the only value book you have slabbed? I have a number of other Valiant books slabbed. I'm a huge Valiant guy. That is a PC book, so I mean that's a great point. If I were flipping it, then yeah, for sure. But a 9.8 in that book has always been pricey. Obviously, it's you know, so it could go up, but it doesn't matter to me because I don't think I'd sell it. I mean, if it's a 9.8, I would have a little bit of a question of if I would sell or not, just because I can make so much money on it. And I have a second copy that has a little tear in the spine that I got from Issues. So I wouldn't be without the book.
Right.
And then I could like even sell this, get a 9.6 and still get another book, and I'd probably be pretty happy.
Yeah. Legend and 36 Chambers are just talking about.
Yeah, it says, I feel people should clean their own books and keep them raw. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll get back to Legends question. I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, but yes, it is the Grail of pre-Unity Valiant for sure. So I grade for two reasons. One, to sell, like I said, if I'm trying to make a profit on a book. And two, just because I want to protect the book. Like some of these books that I have, I'm like one of the first books I graded was my Walking Dead one. And the reason I sent it in was because I was super nervous to damage that book.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it's encapsulated, I feel like better about me being clumsy with it.
That makes sense. And that's kind of where I'm at, is like, if I was going to flip something, then yeah, getting it graded before you flip it just makes sense. In which case I would probably use CGC, but I did an order of books that I wanted for me last year, and I used CBCS. Part of that was because I never used any of them. I've only done this once with each company. So
yeah,
at this point. And my results were almost identical per company. So like timing, return, everything. So
yeah. Pope says, but standards can fluctuate, so having integrated service as a default there, the best attitude can be problematic. Sure, but like if you feel like at the moment that something is so head and shoulders above the rest, I understand like wanting to keep everything uniform and whatever. So going back to what Great Legend was asking about CBCS versus CGC, I've used both. Like I said, I think CGC's cases are sturdier for sure. Yeah. But I don't find that CBCS has Newton rings.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a clearer, but it's weird because the plastic on a CGC case, if it doesn't have Newton rings, looks better.
Looks clearer, yes. I would agree with
that. But a CBCS case is a little tiny bit hazy.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say it's like it looks like it's foggy, but it's just like a CGC non-Newton ringed case is so clear.
This is in Mylar too, but this thing is just crystal clear, but like it's Matt sent it to me, but it is just covered in Newton rings.
Yeah. And I have some books like that too, where it just like it like you can see right over my shoulder other way. Whoop, nope. Oh, stupid StreamYard messes with your brain so badly. Okay, there you go. That Detective Comics 1000 sketch I got from Jay Lee. It's like, it's a gorgeous sketch. I love it, but it's just like big handprint of Newton rings.
Oh yeah, there's like not an inch of this cover almost that doesn't have a Newton ring on it. It's just like, and I mean, how does their quality control let that go out? I don't know. It's just like.
Jackio says slabbing comics is a scam unless it's golden or very early silver. It's a total waste. I mean, maybe in the long run that's true, but I think the money or the value speaks for itself. When you can grade something at a 9.8 and get 10 times what you would as a raw book, like at the moment, it's like if you're doing it for your PC in the long term, sure, maybe it's going to turn out to not be great to have a bunch of modern books in 9.8. Like people might not care because there's going to be so many of them. But when something like Harbinger 1, if I got a 9.8 in that and could sell it for over $1,000, and a raw, I could sell it for a couple hundred.
Yeah,
the
market has decided that people want it, and as long as people are willing to spend the money, it's worth it. I mean, if you're okay with it, particularly if you're looking to move the book, the market has decided that is the best way to try to sell a book. Right, wrong, indifferent. That's just where people are at.
Yeah. So CGC and CBCS, I like the CBCS label better, and I know I'm probably in the minority for that. What's that?
I like it too.
I think it's so clean. It's more minimal. It like distracts less from the book. I don't know. I like the way it looks. It's like very modernist.
Yeah,
it's just I
like that it seems simple to me. I think the CGC label seems a little cluttered.
So Jack Yo says nobody's paying $1,000 for Harbinger 1. Check sold listings on eBay. I promise you 9.8s are going for close to $1,000, if not at $1,000. I know it's crazy. Same thing for Solar 10. And a 9.8, it's like $1,000 book. It's like ASM 301, where it's just so hard, or perceived to be so hard to get in a 9.8, that people spend such an absurd amount extra for it. I was quite surprised to find that as well. So, it is crazy that people are spending $1,000 for Harbinger 1, but there it is. I also like CBCS, how they have the QR code on the back, so you can scan it and see the grader's notes.
Yeah.
I find that super handy, not only for my collection, but like if you're at a convention and you want to see if something, you think like something's a 9.4 or 9.0 or whatever, and you think, well, I wonder if this could be pressed or fixed to a pump to a higher grade. You can scan that on your phone and it'll tell you what the grader's notes are, and you can see, like, if they say stains on the book, you're like, well, okay, so that's going to be what it is. I've never done pressing through CBCS, so I don't know what that looks like. So I do like.
I did it. The books came back. I came back with, what did I end up getting now? 2 9.8s and a 9.6, and the 9.6 had a spine tick that I knew was going to be like too big.
Yeah.
Or no, no, wait, did I get all 9? I might have got all. What did I get? No, I got 2 9.8s and a 9.6.
So this is an interesting comment from Pope. Said, I don't send books to get graded, but I would buy graded books. So was that just because you don't want to take the chance and like kind of gamble? Second Street Marvel hopped in. What's up? And DS Comics is here. Says CGC's pressing is terrible and risky. Yeah, I'm looking at different options. So the one reason that I have used CGC pressing in the past is because it I don't have to ship it twice, and that makes me nervous. I have to ship it to someone.
Nerve-wracking.
Ship it to someone, get it shipped back to me, and then ship it to CGC. Yeah, I've heard stories like that too, where they have wrecked books. But I mean, that can happen to any presser. I just think like they do such a vast amount of books, and people are much more vocal about, like, you can go on a CGC forum and people are talking about CGC. If you use, Mr. Presser House Man, I just made that name up, off Instagram, and who has a great track record, but has messed up a couple of really pricey books, you might not hear about that.
Yeah.
So I agree that, like, I've heard that they can be iffy, but when you are that big, sometimes it just sounds worse.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
Like you said, I think any presser, like, no matter how good you are, there's a risk to doing it. And
sure. And
I would like so many books that obviously the odds of them making a mistake are higher. I think. Well, not higher that they would make a mistake. That odds that you would know about it is higher. Yeah, like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I would like to try to get into pressing my own books, but that's going to be a while before I can get a press and learn how to do it and everything and mess around with some crappy books. A lot of people are bringing up EGS for custom labels. So I have used EGS before. Tony is a buddy of mine. So having said all that, I just want to give my opinions of what I find about what EGS is doing at the moment. I think they are doing a lot of really cool things, and they're trying to kind of carve out their niche in the market, which is great. And as we can see, some people are into it, like custom labels look awesome.
right.
I actually have the very first book from EGS, the first serial numbered book.
Really? Oh, I didn't realize that one. Okay, cool.
So
That's fun.
what's that?
That's just fun to have the
Yeah.
first fun. Yeah.
But my thing, I personally at the moment would not send more books to them because, people are talking about it if it's for their PC. And I talked about one reason why I encapsulate things is to protect them.
Right.
I can buy what they use, which is called I forget what it's called, Comic Skin or something.
Yeah.
It's just a clippable case.
Mm-hmm.
And I do graphic design. I could make my own custom label and put it in there.
What are you gaining?
What's that?
Yeah, you're not gaining a whole lot over what you could do yourself.
Sure. I mean, you're getting something that people are starting to recognize as maybe a third option, and you're getting someone who is a professional grader putting a number on there. So you are getting something out of it, and they do have, at least when I was submitting to them, had super quick turnaround. So that's awesome. They do signature verification, which is also great. But if you, at the moment at least, you're not going to get your money back for grading an EGS book, because you put that on eBay, no one's going to care about it. They're going to treat it like a raw book.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against Tony and what he's doing, because I think he's like building to that point.
He's trying to get.
But right, it's just at the moment it's not there. So, like I know D-Runk makes his own labels, which is a lot of fun. With these same slabs.
But realistically, if George ever had to sell, he would just take them out of the case and sell them raw books.
Right.
If he ever had to move those, and I don't know that EGS at this point is giving you that much of an advantage over a raw book, and you're paying for the service at this point.
Pope says, I think EGS would do well to focus on aesthetics and encapsulation. Yeah, and in fact, I helped him a little bit design that label. Yeah, Craig 69 said, don't forget, I think I mentioned that, right? They do signature verification. Authentication, that's what I meant. I said verification. Bag of Seven says, do you know people wouldn't pay more for EGS on eBay? I don't. I mean, I've never even looked to see if people have listed EGS books on eBay. But
it went on eBay yet. So
the reason I say that is because they aren't really established in the industry as a whole. In the YouTube community, he has done a great job, but I don't know what his reach is outside of that. And also because even though they have the stickers on the side, they are theoretically, they seem a lot more easily openable.
Manipulated. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's my thing. Is if I hadn't seen them on, I've never seen anything indication of them other than outside of this YouTube community that they exist. There's no way I would know that they existed as a collector if I wasn't a part of this YouTube community. So if somebody else that's not part of YouTube sees that book, they're just gonna be like, "What the heck is that?"
Yeah. And the custom labels look really cool. And in fact, I said last time I got an order back from them that if I would use them again, they do offer a service that is a non-secured case.
Right.
So it's basically like raw grading from CBCS, where they give you the same case and a label, and you can do custom labels, but it's just not sealed on the sides. so you can take it in and out still, and that's a bit cheaper. There's 618 EGSs on eBay right now. No kidding.
Wow. That's pretty impressive, actually.
That's pretty cool. I'll have to look at. So I'm actually do a video on that then, and do some research and see what
they're doing, how they're doing.
Yeah, because I very well may be wrong. People might be catching on to it, and I hope so.
Yeah. Hang on one sec. I gotta drop off for just a second.
Yeah, no problem. Great Legend says buy EGSs or PGX on eBay for cheap. Yeah, I've looked at that and looked at buying some PGXs. In fact, there's one PGX book on eBay right now that I kind of have my eye on, but it's still an expensive book, so it's risky because you always hear the joke. It's like, oh, that's a PGX 12.0 because they grade so wacky that if you send it into a different grader, you might get a really much lower grade. So I feel like you're either really taking a chance or you have to buy something that sorry, I'm looking at the chat. That is really cheap. That's like a super deal. That where even if you sold it raw or regraded and dropped a grade, that you'd still be good. So if you can find the right book, totally worth it. The next books I'm thinking about sending in, I say books because it's 3 copies of the same thing. Oh, I got JP back. Oops. There you go.
Sorry about that.
No problem. So I have 3 copies of Savage She-Hulk.
Oh, nice.
One of them I would say I'm probably definitely not going to grade just because I don't know. It's probably not in the 9s. I won it from that Spider-Man booth on an Insta Monday thing. Like, it's still a nice copy. But it just has some spine damage and like a corner bend that I don't think are going to come out with a press. Well, I know the spine things won't. So it's probably like an 8.85. So I don't know if that's worth it.
Yeah.
This one, which I bought at a convention, super cheap. I think this is the copy, right? Let me see. Yeah. This one is 9.8 potential. This one's definitely going in at some point. I feel like now's the time to flip it if I'm going to flip it. It's got like a little, like it doesn't have anything really. It has this right up there next to where it says Savage. There's a little line of printer's ink.
That might clean though. It looks almost pencil or something.
Really? Yeah, I think it's from the rollers.
Oh, okay.
When it got printed, and it does have like it's not a roll, but it's not like you can see a staple. It's like kind of the cover is that classic Marvel of that era where it's like they didn't put it on straight, but it's like it's not rolled. It's super square.
Grade, so
what's that?
That won't affect the grade.
No, I wouldn't think so. And then this copy I got as an AOK a while back. This was my first copy. And this is also a super nice copy, very clean. It's a newsstand. The only thing about it, it's got like a spine bump that I think would definitely come out. And I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see this. So I might have to like take a picture and show you at some other point if people are interested. But it's got like down here in this corner. Let me do this. Hold on.
So you make yourself big again if you want.
Oh yeah. I know how to use this. Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to see it. There's like weird little micro folds down here.
Oh.
Which I don't know. Like they're just like straight in the middle of the book. They're not.
So like they're not like from the roller, like.
Yeah, they must have been from production.
Okay.
Because like there's no way to bend the book like this because none of them go to the spine. They're just like little, it's like something just kind of like scrunched it a little bit. So I hope they would come out, but so this one's a question. This one I might just keep raw because it was an AOK. I want to keep it anyway.
Yeah.
So I might just grade this one.
Yeah, had the word for printer's crease or whatever. Like when
that's what I kind of think it is. Yeah, Legend says, yeah, I've seen that too. So yeah, I think probably I'll just send this one in if that makes sense, because that's what I'm thinking, but I want to kind of get everyone's opinion on that.
I mean, that one, like, since you have the 3 copies and you have the copy you want to keep, that other one that's high grade, I would definitely send in and have it ready to flip the day they announce a casting or the day you see a trailer for that show.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, that would be where I would be at, because they announce whoever is going to be She-Hulk, and if people get excited about it, that book's going to take off again.
Yeah. So.
And if that other one, yeah, and then the other one's just a matter if you want your personal copy graded, I think.
Right, just to have. Yeah. But that would, I don't think, would go in this round.
Yeah.
Because
oh, nice.
The only thing that's going on with this book, let me take out the board carefully. Again, it has like right on the back of the bottom. Make myself big. I remember this time. It's got that same sort of like roller mark.
Oh, those like little ink marks. I don't know that those. I don't know. I don't know if grade them, but I wouldn't think that would affect the grade very much.
I don't know either. So some more experienced people in the chat maybe could lend some light on that.
To me, that seems like the kind of thing, because they make exceptions for stuff that's part of production in general. To me, that would be something they would do that for, because it's clearly not something that was done later. Like,
yeah,
part of the production. So, but I don't know.
Oh, 1 second. We got another person who wants to maybe pop in.
Oh, get him in here.
Send an invite.
I actually know something.
All right. Cool. Collectible paper. Thanks for hanging out. Geeky Fish now says clean it, improve the eye appeal. Yeah, for sure. Like even PC books, unless it's like something like, I'm going to show this book in a minute next, actually. Not this one. This one we're still talking about. The next one, like I might not even bother pressing, because it is, I think, in the case shape that it's in right now, a 9.8. So I don't know if it's worth
messing with it.
But again, who knows? Maybe I'm not seeing something. But anyway, this would be a flip. It's most certainly a 9.6, but I think possibly a 9.8. And we got Big Will. What's up, brother?
I have arrived. What are we doing?
We're talking about books that, trying to figure out which books I should send to CGC.
Well, you come to a conclusion yet?
Not yet. I'm still showing stuff. So this is the book we're talking about right now. 9.6 to 9.8 candidate. It would be a flip. I think this is probably definitely going in the order.
Yeah. If it's a 9.6, 9.8, I would definitely send that sucker in.
Yeah. I would only not send that one in if you have ASM 252 to send in. If you don't have that one, then definitely send that one in.
I already sold my copy of that, or my other. So I had a copy of both. I sold them. This is my second copy of Secret Wars. This next book is a PC book. Now that I'm looking at it, it does have a little tick that would probably press out. So forget what I was saying about not pressing this one. I don't know what I'm talking about. But it's the Virgin Stephanie Hans Miss Marvel cover.
That's a gorgeous book.
Yeah, this would be a PC book. Right now with that little tick, it's a 9.6, but I'm pretty sure that would press out, and otherwise it's like, it's so nice. But again, I feel like this round is a little bit more about flipping for me.
Yeah.
So I think this one will probably wait, but it's definitely one that I want graded for the PC. Like the Harbinger, I'm a little more anxious about. There's a couple others that I will be showing that I'm a little more anxious about getting
encapsulated
because they're like more important books to me. Like that's just a book that I like to cover, basically.
Yeah.
I got
Oh, nice.
No, that 168,
169.
169.
Yep, first Doctor Strange. It's definitely like a mid-grade. So this is one of those ones where I'm gonna have to like very closely look at the difference in raw versus graded and what the cost is.
What is that, a PC, a flip, or in what?
See, I don't know because
I mean, it's technically number one. I mean, it is number one. I ain't technically about it.
right.
And the movie's coming out, and it's supposed to be a big one.
So I personally don't have much of a connection to Doctor Strange. Like but my dad, when he was a kid, really loved Doctor Strange, and so there's like that connection once removed that I have, where I like kind of want to keep this because it, in a way, is like a connection to my dad, who's still alive, by the way. I'm not saying like, but you know, DS says that books really isn't worth much unless it's in high grade. Yeah, I got this for a really good deal, so I'm not concerned about losing money on it that way if I flip it.
Right.
So it's a question of like I have to look at what I think this grade is, because it does have like some on the bottom staple. Stupid light for the sunset is messing things up, but you can see. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
No. So there you go.
Yeah, that one would probably come down to, do you just really want to?
Right.
Or if you're wanting to do it for money, it's going to be a while. You're going to have to wait for the movie, and then probably a few years after that for it to actually go up in value, because like DS is right now.
DS says it's cool, but not worth flipping unless it's like a 9.2 or up. So
yeah.
Joey says White Whale is strange. I certainly am. Thank you very much. Harsh but fair. So like again, it comes down to me. It doesn't matter what I paid for this book. If I'm looking to sell this book, the question is the cost of grading, will it net me more profit from the graded? So if, like, let's say this is a 6.0, what is a 6.0 sell versus a raw fine copy?
I can tell you right now, I had a mid-grade copy of the next issue 2, which is 170. And I talked it up because it had Nightmare on the cover, saying you can't get his first appearance because it's expensive, because it's the same first appearance that Doctor Strange is. And I had a few people fighting over it when I sold it at auction. And I sold it in a lot with 2 other books for like $40-$50. And one guy was only wanting it. So essentially he was going to pay $40 or $50 for that one book raw. And it was about a 5 to a 6.5. So if that gives you any help.
Here, I got it pulled up again. Hang on. So 6.0s, you're looking at $150.
Yeah,
and you're looking at that's pretty high that's the highest raw copy I've seen sale, but most of them are in this range. If I scroll through here, they're very good fine.
Boatwright says definitely slab the Doctor Strange.
I mean, yeah, you get a 9.2, then you're looking at, but you're definitely,
yeah, sure. I would be very happy, but there's no way that's pulling even.
I mean, you're looking at 50 to 100, a little more depending on the condition. Looks like.
Yeah.
But
I might be able to get 100.
Right. If the only money that you're saying you have in it is your grading cost, I don't think you'll have to worry about losing any money no matter what the grade is, because of how good it looks right now.
Well, right. So what I was saying at the beginning, which you might have missed, is my theory on when I'm looking to sell a book. To me, it doesn't matter what I paid for it, because if I was a fool and I paid $1,000 for that book, that money is already gone. and it does, like, even if I only sell it for 100, either way, like that cost is kind of irrelevant. Like, yeah, I'm losing money. That sucks. But
Well,
if the cost of grading is $30, the book graded needs to be more than $30 more
right.
valuable.
I'm the same way. If I bought it and it's been over 6 months, then it really doesn't matter,
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think you'll have to worry about getting grading costs back and then some.
Yeah, it looks like I would on that book.
Because of what it is. So
Yeah.
Christopher Joy says 6.0 and Go collects 180. So that's
so
Just Rican's looking to buy it off me raw. I don't know. If you actually are interested in it, hit me up on IG. We'll talk. But I wasn't really planning on selling anything right now, so I don't have prices in mind.
But as it sits raw, if you say it's like a 6.0, it's probably a $60 book tops.
Yeah, but a 6.0 graded looks like it's about 130, 150, or maybe 180 according to Go Collect. So
basically, what that means is you'll be okay if you sell it raw, and you'll be even better if you get it graded and sell it. And if you wait for the movie, probably even get more than that.
Mm-hmm.
The next book.
So I think Rod's serious.
What's that?
Rod said keep him posted. So there you go.
Oh yeah. The next book is a PC book. It was a gift from TJ, one of his AOKs he gave to me. It's very hard to find Adam Hughes RRP Red Sonja cover.
I remember that one.
As much as I would like this one graded, and it could be a 9.8 candidate with a press, I think this one is not going to make this round just because, like I said, it's PC. It's not like a PC book that I'm.
Has anything PC made it since before I come on?
Yeah, I'm thinking Harbinger 1 is probably going to make it. This next one is I think a definite send in.
Oh yeah.
Oh nice.
This is in the 9s as it sits. I honestly don't even know if it needs a press, to be perfectly frank. Like, it's got a little. It's got a little like corner ding up here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's terrible right now.
That's definitely a slab. They do anything halfway decent. I mean,
like, it's art,
and it's pretty good book now as is.
Yeah, for what I paid for this book, and I know I said that doesn't matter, but for what I paid for this book compared to what I could sell it as in the 9s, like I could flip this for quite a bit of profit without even pressing it.
Sweet.
And it's weird. I've had this for a while, and I've like kind of grown attached to it, even though I'm not a Green Lantern guy. It's just like it's a really cool cover. It's a classic first appearance book. But like I bought it with the intention to flip it because I got it at such a good deal. So I'm trying to like keep my emotions out of it and just like bite the bullet and grade it and flip it. But so we'll see when it comes back. But I think this is a pretty clear, definite, right?
I definitely get that one.
Okay. This one is probably a PC, but like, again, it's one of those ones where like if I got it in a high grade, it's so much money that I would have a hard time not wanting to flip it because anyway.
Oh, I love that cover.
Yeah, it's really, really cool cover. It's
no idea what you're talking about.
J.G. Jones, Batgirl, steampunk variant. Incredibly hard to find.
That is out of my wheelhouse. That's all you, JP.
It's just super cool cover. She's riding this awesome like Victorian looking motorcycle, and it's got the bats. Like, the only thing I think is a little weird about it is her face, but it's very expressive, so I do like it. So yeah, this book is very pricey. especially in a 9.6 and 9.8, it like gets crazy money. So if I graded and it came, what's that?
That book just go, even a raw copy of that book goes for crazy money.
Yeah, it's silly for a book that's really not that old. It's just one of those variants that was super underordered, super hard to find. Like I've never seen one of these in person, other than the one I'm holding in my hand. So again, this is one that I would like to get graded, but maybe not this round. So like the other thing is I got to decide how many books I want to send in, but I'm saving the like big boys to last. First Miles
has really consistent raw.
Raw dog. Hey, listen, like honestly, I really like raw books. There's, it's how I always collected up until recently. Flipping through a box of like raw books, just in like nice Mylars with fullbacks. Sorry, DS, I know you don't like that, but like it's really satisfying to me. But also like stacking up slabs and hearing them clink together is really satisfying. So, anyway,
So,
First Miles.
what grade would you say that one is? That one depends on grade a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
It's I think sometimes hard to tell with this book because of the poly bag, because sometimes it looks like there are creases that are actually in the bag.
Oh, so you still got it in the poly bag?
Yeah, I've not removed it.
Oh, but if it's still in the poly bag, how long was it in there before you got it in a bag and board? Because those things hurt books like crazy.
Yeah.
I bought this walking $20 off from a comic shop, so it was in a bag and board. But
well, to get it graded, you would have to remove the poly bag.
Right, but they do that for you, right?
Yes, but I was just going to say the grade also depends a big deal on the value of that one. So if you're even thinking about sending it in, I would take it out of the poly bag and make sure about your grade, else you might send something in that you shouldn't have.
Right. So back in the day, at least, like removing books from poly bags just destroyed the value, even if it was. So I don't know how that affects this if I kept it raw.
It matters as much anymore.
It doesn't matter that much, I don't think.
Is it because CGC and stuff like that removes poly bags?
Yeah, and the other thing is
that
book is also notorious because of the way that poly bag is on the back. That
where it creates
creates a crease in the back of the book, like that you're gonna have to press out no matter what if it's been in there because it's been in there.
These days, we understand how the poly bag can cause damage and hides damage, so I don't think it matters as much anymore.
It's like kind of like a mini Mylar. J Hood Creatives in the chat. Man Cave Comics, stop by. What's up? Sevens also agrees that I should remove it first.
No, I would remove it.
So does DS. So there you go. Maybe I will do that. Not right now on air because.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely look at that if I'm going to send it in.
But if it's a 9.4 or better, it's probably worth it to send that one in, I would say. What about you, JP? I'm not up on my Ultimate Fallout.
I haven't looked for a while, but I would say, it's got to at least be probably a 9.4. And really, like a 9.6 is where most of your value comes on that one, I think. But I have not looked for a while, but we can look real quick.
While you're checking that out, I'll show this next book, which is one that probably, I don't know if anyone else cares about, but me, definitely a PC book. This is 4 Kids Walk into a Bank, number 4. But if you see the title, it says 1 Kid Walks into a Bank. This was an incredibly hard to find Phantom variant, which like for a while was not, you couldn't even find it mentioned online. Like this like didn't exist. I don't know that any copies of this variant have been graded. At least they weren't the last time I checked, which was a while ago. But so I kind of want this just as like a bragging piece.
Well, like I said earlier, if it's a PC book, it doesn't really matter about value. Do you want to? Do you have a grade that it needs to hit to you?
No. So I mean, the question of if this one is getting sent in at some point, then yes, it definitely is. Like I'm definitely getting this book graded at some point. I guess the question is just, is it going in this round?
Well, that's up to you, man. If I were you, I'd put everything in that you might send in, and then you got to whittle down and figure out what your amount is, and then that
Right,
tells
right.
you know.
So I mean, that's what after I show all the books, and I have just a couple more. That's what I want to kind of do, is kind of whittle it down and say, okay, this is going to be my submission.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Pope says, yeah, that is
So-
a Phantom book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going back to the miles, just real quick,
Yeah.
it's got to be a 9.6, and really, like even that, because it's going raw for 60 to 100.
Yeah, a 9.4 probably goes for.
Yeah.
9.4 goes
I can tell you right now, if
around 150.
If you still have it in the poly bag right now, you can just about throw a 9.8 out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, even with a press, you might get a 9.8, but I would doubt it. So you're probably looking at a 9.4 or 9.6. And if it's a 9.6 that really matters, I don't know, man. You might not want to send it in. Might want to keep that one raw.
Yeah, I would look at it. I mean, look at it real close through the bag if you want, because if you want to try to sell it raw like that way. But if it's not a 9.6, then you're just as good off without selling it raw.
Barbarian Kung Fu says, don't slab that book unless you keep it's for you to keep and you have a second reader copy. So I don't have a second Phantom variant reader copy, but I do have a regular 4 Kids Walking to the Bank cover.
Yeah.
And Geek Aficionado says, I'll buy it. Yeah. I think anyone who's like a vague fan of Black Mask or that title would be interested in buying that book, because, like I said, I've never seen one on eBay.
I think he's talking about the.
Oh, are you talking about the Miles?
Miles. I think he's talking about the Miles.
Well, Air Spider, that may be true, but like right now they're going for on eBay for 50 to 100 raw.
My LCS also has that book for, I think, 130 or 150. Like I call it the LCS tax.
Yeah.
Where you're paying to have it in your hand.
And I agree with DS. No matter what you do, send it in or not send it in, I would
take it out of the
poly bag just to keep it in the condition that it's in, whatever that condition that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 9.4 goes for under $100 on that.
Right.
So.
And yes, Geek Aficionado says he meant the Miles.
Yeah. Hulk 180.
Oh, nice. So
Well, you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We'll have to send it to him.
Yeah.
If it's an A-OK, I'll take it. But if I have to pay for it, I don't think I can manage.
When I joined, when I created my YouTube channel, this was probably like my first big boy book that I bought.
Yeah.
And I won the Spider-Man booth 181. It does have like a gnarly subscription crease, and like it's not in the best shape, but like this book is heating up so much, and it's like, to me, I still consider
subscription crease.
I agree with DS.
What's that?
Regardless of conditions.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. To me, this is the first appearance of Wolverine.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a super key. The colors are still really vibrant. It still like presents really nicely for an older book. Like I personally like some wear on older books. Like I don't want. I don't want to say I don't want a giant size X-Men and a 9.8 because that's a foolish thing to say. But like I like the grade I have because it shows like some wear, some love. Like people have read this and enjoyed it and carried it around, and I think it just like looks appropriate. It's like, what do they call it? Patina.
Yeah.
So
yes, a subscription increase maxes out at a 6, but otherwise it looks pretty good. Which I would definitely slab it.
Yeah, I'm thinking like honestly, it's probably around a 4 or 5, which is what my 181 is, which would be great if they had like matching grades. That'd be really satisfying.
Yeah, that would definitely go in the 2 grade pile, probably.
Yeah. So these next 3, I'll save this one for the last actually, are probably definitely going in. The first 2, my only concern is how to press them, and you'll see why immediately. So I got 2 copies of this.
Are these PC or like flippers?
These are flippers because they are the.
I would not grade that one at all then.
Why?
Well, because I don't know if they figured out how to grade those with the reflection yet, but even if they have, it's not enough of value yet. I don't think it would be wise to have it graded and try to sell it.
So these are the blue error holograms. Yes, both of them are blue errors that I like happened to find 2 within a couple of months of each other. You can see like they don't.
Phone call and see if they can press those, and then if they can, send one in, maybe both.
Yeah. So these in a 9.8, like there's very few of them sold, but they go for upwards of $800, and I paid barely anything for either of them because I told both shop owners what they were before I bought them, so I didn't feel like a scumbag. And they're like, "Yeah, I know." Like, okay, I did my business, like to a point. Like, I'll buy a $3 book if it's worth $20. I won't say anything. But if I find a $3 book that's, I paid about $10-15 for each of these, and the potential that they could go for that much, like I would not have felt right personally leaving the shop saying, hey, I bought a book for $15 that I could flip maybe for $600 to $800.
And Kung Fu says they can be pressed.
Yeah, so I talked to X23 Collector, if anyone follows him on Instagram. Yeah. I talked to him because he pressed one. He has a 9.8, and he pressed it. He said he just did it at a super low heat, and it was fine. I have to like really look closely at these to see how much I want to risk it compared to like what the spine looks like, because like they both look pretty clean already. So I might not even want to take the risk.
Well, I was going to say that if you have that big of a spread on them, who cares if they're pressed?
Yeah, I suppose. It's just that like the difference between a 9.6 and a 9.8 in this book is
well, you could always press one and not press the other to guarantee, at least one. You don't have to worry.
Yeah. And I would take a look at them and see if like one looks like it could use a press more than the other.
Now, does CGC
or if one
take that error on the label?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
But it's kind of like, I mean, they both, to my eyes, they both definitely are. They're super dark blue. They don't hologram right. It's not really a cardstock cover, but it's like, the hologram makes it like a little thicker, but I don't think it's cardstock, but it is like, I'll try to show the spine. Let me take it out of this top loader. I'm going to risk the biscuit for you guys. Like the spine looks like pretty crispy to me.
Yeah. I don't think you got to worry about it. If there's any doubt in your mind, just do one with a press.
Yeah. I'd have to look at it, see if like if one of them has like a little corner ding or something that I know will prevent it from reaching that grade. But honestly, like this one, I might not even need to press. Looking at it, I might just send this one straight in.
There you go.
So I pressed a Robin one of the test. It'll be fine. Barbarian Kung Fu says, you pressed it yourself or you had someone press it?
He probably means press himself because he does his own pressing.
Yeah, I thought so. Which is, again, something I would like to get into, but
I'm still on the fence.
I'm still on a no. I don't want to. I'm not willing to learn that. I don't trust myself.
The thing is,
It's annoying if it's older than the modern classification. That's when the price gets annoying.
yeah. The only thing holding me back is that like I'm sure I could learn it, and I have confidence that I'd like probably be pretty decent at it, but because I'm very meticulous about things. The question is like, am I just too lazy to actually do it when it comes down to it?
There's that too.
John with the solid joke. I'm an amateur presser. I've been pressing my luck for a long time. So far, so good. This last book is definitely going in. It is the big boy book that TJ sent me in my second AOK from him. Yeah, and it's a pence variant.
Oh, I love those.
The 180 also has a date stamp, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I don't think this one does, but this is already super high grade. TJ insists that I press it, but honestly, like, there's a couple of ticks that aren't going to come out of the press, but he's like, no, you have to press it. You have to press it. So I will press it for him since this was a gift from him. But like, if I had bought this book and was sending it in, I don't know if I would.
If you'd bother.
I don't want to say bother, because like with older books, it's always good to just flatten them out. But
no,
like, DS was saying earlier, like, you always kind of risk something when you press a book because you could wreck it. So, that's my stack of what I'm considering. Ooh, Greek Aficionado is an X-Men 101 pence variant. That's pretty awesome.
That's sweet.
All right, so definite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can tell you right now from experience, all of them that are PC books that you're like, at some point, I would go ahead and do it now.
Because it's always going to be at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would go ahead and do them all now because I've had that situation happen and I regretted not sending them in when I didn't.
Yeah. These would both be flips. So I'm probably going to send both these in just because, like I said, I've so little invested in them. Even if I sell them for a couple $100 each, I'm still making a ton of money on them. This is probably going to go in.
Oh, it should.
Yeah.
Even though it's a PC.
Now, you said this is not CBCS. This is going to be for CGC, right?
Yeah.
So are you going to do the full 25 is the full order? You're going to do 25 books?
Oh, I would love
to.
No, I'm thinking like maybe 10. Like I would love to do 25, but my my budget doesn't allow for that. This I'm honestly like on the fence about waiting on.
I would
So
say
I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile at the moment. Ultimate Fallout, I'm gonna wait on for sure, based on our conversation. Because I need to investigate that more. This probably gonna wait on to right now. I know all right, I'll put this in the maybe. I'm gonna put all my PC books in the maybe and see how many definites I have and then go from there. How about that? This is a definite.
As DS is saying, you have modern and non-modern tier at this point too. So.
Yeah, right. So it's gonna be pricier. This would be a PC. Yeah, the non-moderns are definitely going to be more expensive. This is maybe a PC, so
I wouldn't send that one in unless it's a PC.
Yeah, PC. Oh, sorry, not you, Siri. This one's getting sent in because it's a flip.
Yeah, flip that sucker.
Sending one of these in, this one. And the other two, I would say, are probably not going to get sent in. Even though they're... this I really want to send in, so I'm just going to do it.
Get her done.
Get her done. And then this guy, This was the one that was like a real iffy one, so I might wait on this.
Grade.
I figured that one would be a definite with all the hype and stuff around it.
So
PC
we look. This would be probably a flip.
Yeah.
It's only worth it if it's 9.6.
Yeah, if it's a 9.4, then like I'd be losing money from grading it.
Really, it drops that bad from a 6 to a 9.6, 9.4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geek Aficionado says, "Oh, that's a good candidate."
I mean, we looked it up a while ago, and raw copy. The difference between a raw copy and a 9.4 is not as much as it's going to cost you to grade it.
And DS says, unless you want to pay $27 for each book, then do value tier and wait 105 business days.
Yeah, that's if you don't fast track.
Right. Yeah. But still, like, yeah, I'm not going to pay 105 business days. That's buck wild.
Well, now wait a minute. You said there was the one from TJ. Well, have you gone through all of them?
That's everything, yeah.
Okay. You already said the one from TJ is a definite, but it's going to be your only value tier that's a definite. So you got
no, I got the Hulk 180 and the Green Lantern.
The 180 should be
no, I think it's 74.
Is that still modern?
I know 75 is the modern start.
Okay, I would think 180 was 75 or was still in the modern tier. Okay, that's my bad.
Okay, then yeah, maybe you're right.
So you'd have three then. You'd have the Green Lantern, the Hulk, and the Fantastic Four would be value.
Yeah, and the Doc Strange, but I wouldn't bother.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait on that. The other thing that I keep thinking about is getting my giant size cleaned and pressed and regraded. But that would be a completely different order because it would be a cross tier thing.
You would have at least 3 different orders at the rate you're going right now.
Right, because this is a CBCS at the moment. So if I sent it in, you get that like deal for sending it.
That one then.
What's that?
You'll save money with that one then, doing it as the crossover.
Right. And like the back is pretty dirty, so it definitely would clean up. I don't know, and I think like a press would help it because this is the old label, so I can't imagine this was ever pressed.
Yeah.
Well, if you have you scanned the QR on it, because that'll tell you if anything is pressable as far as the defects.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, I mean, it's got like a couple of rips, really small, and like I said, the back is super dirty, so it definitely was not cleaned because it's like, especially along the spine, it's like pretty filthy. See that?
Yeah, lots of dirt there that I think would come off.
Now here's another question: is all of the stuff that you're flipping, are you willing to do fast track?
I'll have to look. Joe says, "Get your beard slapped."
Because
that's a 10.0, Joe. There's no,
Thanks. I wouldn't trust CGC to press a square bound. They can't even competently do fold over books. Yeah. I like I was saying earlier, I really need to look into some pressing options to see who I want to go with. But it's just that convenience of CGC, and I know it's kind of like iffy.
Yeah.
But
anyway, are you willing to fast track or no? That's going to be, if you press them, it's going to be an extra $20 a book.
Right. I honestly don't know if I'm going to press them through CGC.
Okay.
So it depends on what the turnaround time is. If I find like it's not reasonable.
100 days right now, business days, if you don't fast track. Fast track, I think, cuts it down to 40 something.
For just grading?
Yeah, I think for grading, I'm not sure. Let me check.
Oh,
I have a CGC right here. I'll pull it up.
All right. That's crazy.
Yeah, grading. I always have to press, so I get them confused sometimes. I could be dead wrong, man.
Geek Aficionado says, I can handle all of them for you. I just did a nice Fantastic 411. Very cool. Yeah, I'll chat with you. See what. Like I said, I'm looking at a few people. I'll definitely chat with you and see what you can offer. But thanks for.
I'm familiar with Geek Aficionado. I just subbed him up so I can find out.
Oh yeah. No, I know that guy, but like off the top of my head, I can't like think of like people's examples of pressing books. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't doubt they does a fine job, but maybe lost. Said I always send value books with Fast Track. Pressing value 85 days, Fast Track 40 days. Value tier grading is 105 days. Wow, but Fast Track is 25. So
yeah, I kind of just went away there, didn't I?
Yeah. So
for a second. Well,
DS dropped the knowledge. Value tier grading is 105 days, but Fast Track is 25 days. So that's a significant difference. I would say.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably. It would be very, very tempting to do that because that's like that's a huge difference.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So right now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 definite books. Like I think I'm gonna have to look at I'll have to like enter them all and see. What about dropping them off CGC Show or Con? So if you drop them off, the turnaround time is exactly the same. You just don't have to worry about shipping.
Yeah.
They only do 2 on-site grading cons per year, and Baltimore was the last one they did. So I don't know what the next one is, but unless I'm gonna be at that convention anyway, like they will be at MegaCon, so I could drop them off then in next April. But then I'd still have to wait whatever the turnaround time. It's not any faster to.
In Midwest. Actually, got
Midwest. Yeah, we're just talking about pressing books. Speak of the devil. Not that he's a devil. You know, it's just a saying.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna have to look at the total cost of what this is going to be, and then decide if I want to cut a couple books out and do this like in 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now another thing is DS has got it in there 72 a book. If you do the press and Fast Track and all that.
For value.
If you go one up of value to economy, the grade is 50 days and it's $38. And if you don't Fast Track, you've cut the time
in half.
More than half from value, and you're spending almost the exact same amount as if you Fast Tracked.
Comic Kid 84 is stopping in.
I don't know if that's a good idea or not, because the value Fast Track's 25 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're still sending the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think if I'm gonna go over all that, that's definitely gonna be a different video because I'll have to prep for that. But
yeah.
I might just like have all that information on hand at some point and bring that up if people are interested to hear about that.
Yeah. How many different things are you willing to have shipped back to you? Like if we got the modern stuff, that's one shipment cost.
Yeah.
You got the value. If you do the value tier, that's one shipment.
And then the crossover grading.
And then the crossover is another shipment.
Yeah. And the reason I haven't done that is because like it's fine as is. It's a PC book. It's not going anywhere. The grade like kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just like kind of like a what if sort of thing. So that's why I don't even know if I should bother.
Well, fellas, I gotta hop off of here, but
yeah, I think I'm about wrapping up too. So thanks for hopping in. Thanks to Big Will, JP. Thanks for everyone in the chat for offering their insight and their opinions. It did really help a lot in figuring. Geek Aficionado said, "Bring the crossover to MegaCon." That might be a good idea. That might be worth it because that's definitely not a rush to get changed. And
of course, another thing that I'm personally doing is because all these times are so long and because it costs so dang much, I'm doing like 1, 2, 3 books, no more than 5 every month. And then I'm just doing it that way. And I'll be getting something back at some point. I'll
Wow.
start rolling off every single month. That way I'll keep my costs down.
Yeah, but your shipping costs doing that. Whew.
Yeah, but spreading it out over the month, though, it's not as bad.
Craig says, for me, raw is the best for my PC. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I feel like there's like a shift. It's like almost like a vinyl shift where people are like going back to
raw.
Like for a while, it was like, oh, gotta get a grade. Now you hear more people saying, no, I want to keep it raw. I mean, there's certainly like a ton of books that are even expensive books in my collection that I don't really care about getting graded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It only matters if the value of the graded book versus the raw book is enough to cover the cost involved.
Yeah.
That's the only time I would do it, unless you just want a graded PC collection like I do.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go. Sorry.
All right, no problem. Thanks for coming in. All right, bye. Yeah, so that's about the long and short of it. Obviously, I will keep everyone updated with every step of the way to let you know what's going on, so you can join me in the excitement.
And you also did a great video with some fat dude on how to submit books too.
Yes, I did on Big Will's channel. We did a live stream where he actually went through live setting up his whole order. So check that out if you have never submitted before and you want some tips on what it looks like, or what, if you're curious about it, or even if you've done it before and want to get another opinion. That was a lot of fun. It was a good video. So yeah, thanks for joining me on the other side. And again, thanks to everyone in the chat for stopping by. I appreciate you hanging out for me for almost an hour and a half. Geez, I didn't expect this to go that long, but it was fun. Had a good time. So I will catch you all later, and never turn your back to the ocean.